there, this is Sandy from Pulp and Peel, and today I'm going to show you how you can take a few sour green apples and turn them into an amazing apple pasta. So the first thing I'm going to do is spiralize the apples on the spiralizer, and you can get these on Amazon.com. They range in price anywhere from like $25 to $40. They have little suction cups on the corners to keep it from moving all over the place. And what you're going to want to do is take washed apples. You don't have to core it. It's a full solid apple. And you just place it on one end. You attach the handle. And that's it. And then you just spin, spin, spin. Super easy. Super fun. And you can do this with any vegetable and pretty much any fruit. I did try to do this with a quasi-ripe banana, and it was a disaster. So I wouldn't use it with a banana, but I've done this with root vegetables, apples, pears. You could do it with a lot of things, and it's really quite fantastic. You can see, you get these amazingly long strands of pasta, spaghetti, and what I like to do, and I've already spiralized a bunch of apples, but I just like to break them up a little bit, just so that it's a little bit more manageable to eat. If you have kids, you might want to just keep them long because it's kind of fun for them to sort of play with their food, and you know, who doesn't want to play with their fresh produce when they're eating. For the most part, this is it. This is all you have to do. And it's quite easy, as you can see, but that's your pasta. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to move the spiralizer out of the way. And the next thing you're going to do to prep the pasta is add just a tiny bit of cinnamon to it. And this helps to add, that's it, I eyeball everything and just toss it. The apples are wet because they have their own natural juices. Oh, the cinnamon smells so good. Apple and cinnamon just go so well together, it's not even funny. If you see an occasional little seed in here, just pop it out. But you won't have a lot of seeds, which is really nice. And that's it. That's your pasta. Now it's just ready for the sauce. So let's take care of the sauce. So what I've done is I have been soaking about 8 medjool dates, which are sort of medium to large size dates, as you can see. You want them to be fairly soft. And the nice thing about medjool dates, or pretty much most of the dates that I've encountered, is that even if they dry up because you've had them at room temperature, if you've had them exposed to air, if you soak them for half an hour to an hour or so, you can reconstitute them and they can become extremely soft and pliable, and they provide a really nice, sweet, healthy sugar base for pretty much any of your dishes, and that's what's really nice. You don't have to add any other kind of sweetener to this. So you just want to take out the pit, and you just want to they don't have to be dried off, just take out the pit of about, let's do all 8. Why not? Let's go crazy. And this I just put about, this is a 2-cup mason jar, so I did about halfway full of dates, and then I added water to fill the jar up. Okay, let's just taste. And you want to reserve the water just in case the dates need a little bit more moisture to them. And that's it. Okay. So that's on the side. And then the next thing you're going to add are berries. Now I did not have fresh berries on hand, so I do keep bags of frozen berries. You can use raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries. You can use any berry that you want. I prefer the mixed berry medley. I think I picked these up at Trader Joe's or something. But you just want to soak about a cup of berries in about a cup of water. And these are, they're not quite defrosted, but it's going to be fine. I can feel that they're pretty soft. They've been soaking for about 15 minutes. And you just want to, you don't even have to drain them. You just, what you drain with your hand is fine. And the residual water that's left behind is extremely flavorful. So I would almost suggest that if you are using frozen berries instead of fresh, because fresh berries you will not have to soak, but if you are using frozen berries, The water that you're going to add to the sauce to help thin it down, I would recommend using the berry water instead of the date water. It's a little bit more flavorful, it's a little bit sweeter, and it can give you a nicer flavor. So now I'm just going to use the S-Blade in the food processor. You can also use a Vitamix, you can use a blender, or whatever you prefer to blend with. Okay, so I have been blending this for about 5 minutes, and the consistency is where I like it. I like my pasta sauce to be a little bit more on the thicker side. So, but you don't want it lumpy. I mean, unless you really want it lumpy. But the lumps that are going to be in this are going to be the lumps from the dates. And so to bite into a chewy date, although I would like a lot, if you're serving this to children or people who are not fans of dates, might not be such a popular dish with them. So now we're going to plate, and I ended up using about 2 tablespoons of the berry water to thin it down a little bit because, like I said, I don't like it too thin. I like it to be a little bit more on the chunkier side. So you just play with it and feel the texture and do what texture that you prefer. So now to plate it, I'm going to take my pasta and make a really pretty presentation. I mean, it looks amazing. It looks just like pasta. It doesn't taste anything like pasta. It's so much more healthy, and it definitely is more on the sweeter side. So this, you could even like make this a dessert, which is kind of fun. But you just want to take your beautiful berry sauce, and obviously the more darker, bluer colored berries that you have in your sauce, the darker it's going to come. Like this is almost like a deep maroon color. But if you were using just raspberries or strawberries, obviously the color would be a little bit more on the lighter side. But the blueberries and the blackberries are really giving it a nice, deep color. So I'm just going to add a whole bunch of this on there because this sauce is so delicious. And to top it off, hemp seeds. This will give you a little bit of protein, a little bit of fat, a little bit of extra yumminess. I mean, that's amazing. That is really, look at this. This is incredible. And now I'm going to steal this fork and we are going to try it. And you would just eat it just like any pasta. And you know what? I'm going to spoon because I'm going to make a mess. Look at this. It curls up because it's spiraled around the round fruit of the apple, so it has nice curly texture to it. Oh my god. That was so sweet. It is so good. The green apples are like a little bit too tart for me to eat an entire bag of Monomeal apples. But when they're served like this, I could totally eat an entire bag of green apples. And I got these at Trader Joe's for like $3. So it's nice to know that I can make an entire meal out of a $3 bag of apples, which is great. So I hope you try this. And I hope that when you serve it to your family or when you serve it to, anybody else that you want to expose to the 80-10-10 recipes, that they enjoy it and serve up a lot of love. So thank you for joining me.